Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we're going to talk about the future. No, we're not talking about the future of this channel. This channel will remain focused on development tutorials. You may have noticed recently I've been posting a lot more of these sort of informal uh, wisdom type talk videos, just because I feel like I have a lot to share, a lot of experience that I've gone through, but in terms of tutorials, I have plenty on the way. I'm just focusing on more big form tutorials like how to make DaVinci Resolve type extensions and like full breadth, like 30 to 60-minute tutorials. So look forward to those as well as, of course, these type of videos. But today we're talking about the future of Adobe coding. As of course you probably know, there are many types of different ways you can code for Adobe programs. Of course, the simplest is to make Adobe scripts. You can make scripts for After Effects, Premiere, Photoshop, InDesign. These are just little tools that automate tasks that can get repetitive or annoying. And then you have extensions. Extensions are a sort of fancy interface which can then run automations within it, as well as access other things such as Node.js or reading APIs and that sort of thing much easier. And of course, you have plugins as well. These vary heavily per program. You have effect plugins for Premiere and After Effects, which create cool pixel bending, effect making effects. You have AEGPs or After Effects General plugins, which are menu dropdowns that execute automations. And in Photoshop and InDesign and Illustrator, you have other types of plugins for those, which do generative type effects. I personally don't know those too well, but I'm more of an After Effects and Premiere guy. And if you're super in the loop, you know that UXP is slowly coming out and supposedly replacing CEP. So today I want to talk about what you can do now with a certain uncertain future, as well as what the future is probably most likely going to look like. So the big question mark I would say for everybody is what's happening with UXP. And some of us are early access, sort of pre-release kind of people that get NDA information about UXP. But even with that, when things come out as non-NDA and we can disclose what information we've been taught, UXP is sort of a big question mark. And I've made a video in the past called Should You Learn UXP? And the summation of the whole video is kind of like, yes, you should begin learning it, but we're not 100% sure like the timeline or when things are going to come out. And that still kind of remains the case. And I'll be straight honest, I've heard a lot of people talking, I've heard a lot of rumors, and I can't speculate even to the percentage of which these rumors are true. But some people have said UXP might be dead in the water. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. But let's assume the two different cases. We already have scripts, CEP extensions, and plugins for pretty much all the Adobe programs. And they're saying they're going to roll out UXP next for Premiere and then After Effects. UXP for Photoshop and like InDesign and Illustrator are kind of already things and already have basic support. But I think one thing they're finding out is that porting scripting for Premiere and After Effects is a whole different monster compared to those other programs. Or maybe it's just that there wasn't enough people saying that things weren't supported. But I think it's important to realize that it is a huge task to take the old JSX scripting and CEP extensions and converting them one-to-one with UXP. They've said they're aiming to do a parity, that's Parity, parity one-to-one ratio of scripting and CEP extensions will be 100% of the functions and properties supported in UXP, but we don't know if that's actually going to happen or how long that will take. So because of that, we have to ask ourselves a lot of questions. Like, is it worth learning UXP? As I've already made a video, of course, it's worth like looking into and getting somewhat acquainted with. But I want to talk to two different types of people and two different types of possible scenarios. The two different types of people I want to talk to are the beginners, the people that are either brand new to programming, have never touched programming in their lives, or the people that have some programming experience and are just getting started in Adobe as well as the people who are experienced programmers and already are developing Adobe stuff and have experience with that. Those are the two people. And the two types of situations is mainly, is UXP going to actually be the future? Or are we going to have this huge, like decade-long overlap period? Honestly, I think it's going to take at least 5 years for CEP to be fully phased out, if it ever is. I think that there are so many scripting features that are already in programs and applications for sale out there that will break everything in UXP if they were tried to port it. I've worked with several creators who have wanted to make UXP tools for Adobe specifically, and just to like see what is possible and what's missing. And even in a simple project, you have like 5 to 10 different methodologies and functions that are completely absent in UXP. This is nothing to say that Adobe isn't working hard at UXP. It's just to say there are so many little things that have to be implemented from one version of coding to another in order to make them the same. So first, let's talk to the beginners. If you're a beginner coder, you're trying to get into Adobe scripting, you may have zero experience, you may have some experience. Let's talk about two scenarios. One where we stick with what we have now as scripting JSX, CEP extensions, and plugins. And then we'll talk about the other situation where in the future, JSX scripts, CEP plugins might turn into UXP plugins and UXP scripts, as well as effect plugins. And then we'll talk about, of course, the advanced users who are already coders. So if you're a beginner, let's talk about what would happen if UXP fails for, say, Premiere and After Effects. It's a tiny little rumor I've heard, but if it happens, it happens. If that's the case, you can just go forward learning the basics. And when I say basics, I would say start from scripting. Scripting is the easiest form of programming to start with. If you have a good base knowledge of After Effects or Premiere or any other program, learning scripting is going to be the easiest way to learn a programming language. If you know precisely how the application, project, layers, composition, sequence stuff works in any of those programs, you can apply those to learn scripting, whether it's with my scripting videos or anything else, super fast. And that's how I learned. I used my pre-existing knowledge to implement that and synthesize that with coding knowledge. But if UXP becomes a thing, should you skip scripting? Should you skip CEP? I would say no. If you're an absolute beginner, don't skip anything. Learn everything you can from the simplest to the most complex. And I would start with the old ways. Learn scripting, JSX, CEPs, and effect plugins if that's the programs you're dealing with. We don't know if UXP is going to be a thing or not long term. If it is, great. You'll have the scripting and all that experience to easily make the transition. But what if UXP is the future and it's going to replace all that other stuff? If that's the case, then you should still learn everything from the beginning. If you're a beginner, start from the bottom, make your way to the top. Start with scripting, start with a simple project, beat that project into existence, learn step by step how to do everything you want to do, then go on to the next advanced thing. Make an extension, a complicated UI, which then has automation tools built into it from the previous thing you learned. And then, if you want to, if it's applicable for your program of choice, usually After Effects and Premiere, learn effect plugins. If you're not an After Effects or Premiere user, ignore that advice. And if you're a beginner and UXP is the future, like I just said, it's the same path, I think, as if UXP isn't the future. You want to learn the basics from the bottom all the way to the top as far as you can go, because UXP is going to be multiple layers of complexity. It's going to be scripting as well as extension building, essentially. You're going to want to learn how to automate stuff in the program of your choice, but then you're also going to need to understand how to make the interface which interacts with that automation tools. Okay, now let's talk about anyone who's an experienced programmer or is already making Adobe tools. Let's start with the first situation. Let's say UXP is not the future. Yes, it already exists in some programs, but CEP is still hanging out. It's still in the like legacy area of the window menu. Should you what should you learn? What are your options? If you're experienced and you think UXP is not the future, I think it depends on your level of knowledge. If you're really, really deep into all of scripts, extensions, and plugins, just dip your toes in. Learn a little bit of UXP and call that good. It's not even available in Premiere and After Effects full versions. It's in Premiere Beta. After Effects has not even began to be touched by it. Yes, it's in Photoshop and like Illustrator and InDesign. So if you're really into those programs, start dipping your feet in. See if you can convert an old program you created from CEP to UXP. If it's not possible, reach out to the developers, reach out to the forums, or just decide like, hey, UXP really isn't the way to go forward. I might go a different route. Now, if you're an experienced developer and UXP is the future, I would say dive in 80%. Again, it's hard to say because there are so many different programs in Adobe, some of which have UXP in public release versions, and then others, to me, After Effects and Premiere are the main apps that I use and are experienced in. So I may not be speaking to everybody, but if you're like of course, an InDesign, an Illustrator, or a Photoshop user, those programs seem to have gotten priority on the UXP bandwagon. So if you're experienced and use those more priority programs, I would put the majority of your efforts into seeing not just if you can make any UXP application or script, but can you make a port of something you've already created from CEP or JSX into UXP. If it's 100% possible, dive straight in, get that uploaded, get your sales, whatever. Get the notoriety for making one of the first UXP applications or converted ones. But if you're more of like an After Effects and Premiere user, I would say put in like 60 to 70% of your workflow into that. Because we already know that a lot of the stuff isn't supported for Premiere, which is the first sort of video editor getting UXP. So you're going to find if you port a program from CEP in Premiere over to UXP in Premiere, a lot of stuff is possible and actually is highly optimized, which is awesome. Like the speed at which you can cut clips or add clips to a timeline is so much faster than CEP. I'll give them that. But there's still a lot of missing features. For example, in a recent project I did, we looked at doing UXP first. It failed. They said, "Oh, we'll work on those features. We'll get them eventually. We'll add that to the to-do list." No timeline is possible to give. So, that leaves you with a lot of frustration because even if they have a corporate structure that prevents them from giving you any decent timeline, you don't know what that means for your business. So like it's giving a lot of red flags for businesses to be like, should I upgrade my thing to CEP or should I just focus on my abilities into something different or focusing on old support tickets? But if that's the case, you should really join the community in finding what is missing. The more voices we have to tell them what's missing, the better off we will be if UXP is the future. If UXP is not the future, we should still go forward and be like, hey, maybe we're the people that are out there telling people what's not possible and showing them how much work there still is to be done to make UXP in parity with CEP and JSX. So I think in both cases, it's important. Basically, if you're an experienced developer and UXP is the future, or if UXP is not the future, raise your voice, try and convert something that you've already created to UXP. If it's 100% possible, amazing. You're already ready to release your product on the marketplace. Do it, get your sales, get that money. But if it's not possible, list every single thing that's missing from UXP that you could previously do in order to get the developers of UXP to go faster and make it more of a priority to get it actually in parity. I'll be honest, for my pre-release sort of information I've been given, we were always told we're going to make UXP 1-to-1 with scripting and all that. We're going to make sure everything that was possible in Premiere scripting, for example, is going to be possible in UXP. But if you look at how much is possible in scripting from the old days, I would say they're 5 to 10% the way there. A lot of it is stuff that people I think have never used, but a lot of stuff, even just adding video and audio tracks, running executable files, it's not there. These are mainstay important things that are missing that have just been said, okay, yeah, we'll add that to the to-do list. No timeline, but we'll get there eventually. So this has just been a little bit of a rant based on my inside knowledge and my experience as an Adobe developer over almost 12 to 13 years now. If you're a beginner developer, do you think UXP is the future? If it is, make sure you learn all the basics all the way up to extensions first. If you're a beginner developer and you don't think UXP is the future and you think it's gonna flop, I would say same thing. Just learn all the old school stuff, scripts and CEP extensions. Maybe you're wrong and maybe you'll have then that experience. If not, if UXP is not the future, you can keep making scripts. You can keep making CEP extensions, no problem. And if you're an experienced developer and you think UXP is the future, put about 60 to 70, if you're really into it, depending on the app you use, 80% into UXP. If you're using like Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, those are already kind of established. And so those you might want to put a little bit more effort into learning. If you're using After Effects and Premiere exclusively, maybe 60 to 70% of your efforts should be put into learning what's coming out on UXP. The other side is if you don't think UXP is the future, then honestly, I would recommend maybe doing 10 to 30% less learning into UXP. It really depends on one, what programs you use, and two, your confidence level. If you're using After Effects and Premiere, be more skeptical. If you're using Premiere, InDesign, if you're using Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, those are kind of already established. So go ahead and dive headfirst into those. The main point is we don't know what the future holds. Adobe is doing their best to convert JSX to NCEP to UXP without timelines. It's been out for like a year now pre-release, so it's been really slow. And I think it's safe to assume, regardless of your situation, keep learning as much as you can in the old school ways of scripting extensions and plugins. And the amount of UXP you really dive into depends on your experience level and how much you want to try and change things. Maybe if enough of us come out and say, hey, these are the features missing that I need to make my old tool work for UXP, then they'll really jump on the horse and get stuff done faster. Sorry if this has been kind of a rant. I think that's kind of the summation of what I think about UXP in the future for all kinds of different developers, whether you are new or experienced, and whether you are pessimistic or optimistic about the future of UXP. And of course, this depends on whether you're an After Effects or Premiere user and or a Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign person. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think about all this? What do you think about the idea of changing the way we program for Adobe add-ons? Do you think it's working? Do you think it's not working? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below. Hit subscribe and the bell icon to be notified of new videos coming out roughly once a week. Of course, I have lots of explainer videos, but then big tutorials coming, as I mentioned. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.